we need to watch. It also helps if I press record when I do a lot of this stuff. That's why one of the things we're working on right now, we're going to bring in, especially on Tuesday's show, we're bringing next Tuesday, we're going to have the Christ Hospital, Heights Hospital show. I'm bringing in a lot of guys that are going to be doing town hall meetings there. You really got to have two people working this. I do it solo, and I'm worried about the new show. I'm worried about the new commercials we got here, and you forget to do things. So I have to be very careful of what I'm doing and try to be very precise. Actually, I should have a little checklist. I'm a big checklist guy. If I go to ShopRite, I have a checklist. If I go to BJ's, I have a checklist. Wherever I go, I have a checklist. I go down my list. I know what I should have a start the show checklist. But right now, let's break for commercial. We got some new spots in here. You're listening to The City Show. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships, or if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started a GoFundMe where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids and the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Toms River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clinton and Route 37 in Toms River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories. Plus gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Toms River Armory, 732-569-3730, and on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Toms River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clinton Avenue in Toms River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Waterfront community on the Hudson River offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. City Show on GGR. Trying not to screw up anymore. That's the thing. When you're doing this thing solo, there's so much going on, especially when you're focused on getting your facts out here. You make sure the levels are right and all. You really need somebody else to watch that. It's very difficult for the host to do that. Every time I'm talking to somebody, they're like, well, I can probably do it myself. You really can. Because you just get caught up in the adrenaline starts going. You're watching the levels. I got to play with my commercials in the right order, which I even screw that up on occasionally, even though we got some new spots. And one I got to retape. It's not Clinton Avenue with Tom's River Armory. It's Clifton Avenue. I had to retape that one. I had to redo that. But you got. If you're interested in firearms, Pat and Chris, they also repair my cars when my cars are down in Seaside Heights, Tom's River. They have CNC Auto Works. They got into the Tom's River Armory. Both good kids, young guys. Just trying to make it through. Quality service, quality product there at Tom's River Armory. Just come down Parkway, get off at exit 82 to Seaside, take 37 west till you get to Clifton Avenue. That's right by Tommy V's. Midas Tire is on the opposite side. Make the right there, then make a quick right. You'll see the sign by that time. But both good guys. So if you need oil repairs, it's CNC if you're down this way. And you got my begathon there, where I'm asking for money for the high school program. You got some new spots there. We're working on things. I'm going to start bringing back, I think next Wednesday, maybe not next Wednesday, maybe the week after, we're bringing back the Tom's River show. I'm waiting on Dan Roderick, the mayor of Tom's River, to get back to me. I'd like to do a series of shows on the road. Same thing we'd like to do in Jersey City, especially with my kids. The high school kids do a series of shows. But I remember we're going to start using the high school control van. So I'm using it last week. And I'm really anal when it comes to taking care of your cars. I mean, I'm checking oil. I'm checking everything on the car before I go anywhere. I check the tires all the time. I get a flat. That's the first time I got a flat, I'm going to say, in 40 years, at least. I'm really ridiculous on how I take care of cars. There's a reason I got cars out there with 360,000 miles on. I got a flat tire with the high school van. I wanted to give it a run because we haven't been using it. I said, let me take it around on the highway. Get a flat. Actually, how I got the flat, I pulled over to make a phone call, and I was down by the bulk mail center in Secaucus there on County Road. And I pulled over, and I knew just pulling over I shouldn't do this because they don't street sweep the shoulder there. And I picked up some sort of friggin' bolt. By the time I got on a turnpike, I had a flat. Fortunately, I got AAA. That went well until we realized where we put the shelving. Let's speak to my guy Larry about this. We put the shelving on the left-hand side of the tiny, what we call the control van. I call it the tiny van, it's a minivan. And we blocked the jack. And there's a little lug wrench there that you crank down the tire that's on a cable underneath. So there's a lot of manipulating to get that lug wrench out of there to get that tire down. So we got to do some more work on it. I just did a ton of work. I'm waiting for a bumper to come in. Bumper got damaged. We'll pull that shelf off a little bit and get that jack out of there. But I'm also going to put 2 clamps on. I'm just going to have that lug wrench right in the open. Just grab it and you can crank it down. But again, good tires. I'm getting a new tire for it on Wednesday. I'm a BJ's member, so I got a decent price. I think I got a decent. I don't know. I go to buy tires. It always seems to be expensive. But when I'm not buying tires, buy 3, get the 4th one free, you know? I don't seem to get that. But let's get to, why are you listening? You're listening to know what's going on in Hudson County, Jersey City, that sort of thing. That's why we call it the City Show. Not Pat having a problem with the control van. Like I said earlier, Jersey City was in Newark today with a state meeting where Mayor Solomon, James Solomon, I think Angela McKnight was there, Roger McCurkey was there, our state senators, Bill O'Day, Commissioner, Hudson County Commissioner, some union representatives. They're all asking the state to fork over $150 million because Jersey City is in a big financial hole. And somewhere along the line, and Solomon keeps dropping that, there are going to be difficult times, and there may be tax increases, or there will be tax increases. We want to hold off that tax increase as low as possible. It has to, because we keep talking about affordability in Jersey City, and it's just a drinking word. Every time we say we should have like a shot or something. There can be no affordability if we keep jacking up the taxes. Now, what Solomon has to do, hopefully we get the 150. I think it's a reach because it's almost 3 times the amount, more of an amount than the highest awarded before, and that was Camden. I think in 2011 they got 68 million. I don't know about getting 150, but we see. Now, Mayor Solomon went down there with a slew of statistics. He is Mr. Statistic down there. And he was talking about Jersey, how much money Jersey City sends to Trenton with that property taxes and fees and all. He's got it all. He's talking about how the state has cut off school funding. 1 out of 5 people in Jersey City live under the poverty level. He had a slew of statistics to impress this state board. And I think there were. O'Scallion was there. He actually seemed impressed. He's usually one of the guys that's going to say, well, you guys got you in this stuff into this mess. Get yourself out of this mess. But he seemed to be sympathetic or empathetic. Poor Saulo. Again, he was the same way. He seemed sympathetic to what the issues are here. And I know Saulo was pretty tight with Brian Stack. Brian Stack's on board with Solomon. So I'm sure those two can get together. It would be great. Yeah, actually, if I was him, if you're shooting, I'm shooting for the whole 250. Then let the state come back and give me 200 maybe, or 150. Yeah, going with 150, maybe you don't get the 150. Hopefully we do. But like I said, from what I've seen, I think Solomon did a pretty good pitch down there. For that matter, I was just goofing with him earlier I'll get to it, with Steve Fulop. If Steve had some comments. If you didn't read the story, go to HudsonCountyView.com. And John Heinous did a story on the meeting, and he's got some comments from Steve Fulop there. I got him later on in the show here. It'll be difficult to see how we get 100. Hope we do. It'll be difficult to see how we get in $1.50. Now, listen, this problem isn't a 1-year problem. It's a 2-year problem. It could be all 4 years of James Solomon's administration. And there lies the problem. If we're constantly on our butts financially here, then that's an issue. And that'll be a problem for James Solomon. He didn't right the ship. He needs to right the ship, I think, within a couple of years. And he's taken the steps. Again, we haven't seen any steps he's taken yet to cut expenses. Yeah, I said before, maybe we go to a reset back to the Cunningham days, whatever programs we had then. We'll keep whatever we added on. We have to review. Do we really need these things? We got a little political correctness going on over the last 20 years or so. Maybe we added things we didn't need to add. I know Mayor Solomon has asked the department heads all through the city to cut 10% out of the budget. I think I've heard that call of the while before in Jersey City. The other interesting thing is he asked the department heads how they can come up with revenue. Well, some of these guys he's probably talked to about that, who have some revenue-producing ideas. Now, the thing is, when you're producing revenue, you can't dig in everybody's pocket. It can't be a regressive tax. One of the things I'm concerned about is Mayor Solomon's talking about parking violations, parking fees, and violations and fines. That's kind of a regressive tax. And if there's already enough of war on cars in Jersey City as it is, listen, nobody gets more tickets parking in Jersey City than I do. I got a lot of them. But do we want that? There was a time I was involved in the Jersey City Parking Authority. Nobody even talked about it. They all denied about quotas, but yeah, you had to come in with some numbers. We're bringing back the motorcycle division. I always liked the motorcycles, but something happened mentally to the motorcycle guys. Maybe it's too much exhaust fumes, but they got a little too high in the saddle there. That's why it was disbanded after a while. They were going kind of rogue there for a while. But they've been cleaning up the motorcycles, servicing them. So they're bringing that group back. So you're going to have the parking enforcement and the Jersey City Police giving out parking tickets and any kind of other ticket they can give violation-wise. Yeah, I agree we need as much enforcement as possible. But if we're enforcing for the purpose of revenue, I got a problem with that. Yeah, that's how I had problems with the parking enforcement after I was gone. I would see a PEO come down. You're outside. It's in the summer. You're on the porch having coffee, and I would see the PEO because we were on Central Avenue back then, the parking authority, come down my block and just start littering cars with tickets. And I go, whoa, don't do that. I tell them who I am. So listen, I'm just going to call Mayor Healy right now. Yeah, you're not doing that just to make your numbers. And they would pull off. But if I was sitting on a porch, they would have littered a lot of tickets on a lot of cars. I agree with enforcement. I don't think we use the enforcement as revenue generating. I will tell you that parking enforcement, their revenue is way down. It went the other way. I'm worried about them over enforcing. They really went under enforcement. They would just ride by things. And if you go to any of the neighborhood meetings, they're complaining about it. We got people parking everywhere. And enforcement's doing anything. Revenue is down millions. So if we can get it back up to where it was a couple of 3 years ago, we'll be in pretty good shape. Like when Mary Spinello ran it. Now, I'm not knocking the guys that run it now. Just that things got out of hand. If somebody complained about tickets or over enforcement, they would give the word, don't over enforce. And that was going on. Long as it's fair, we're not, just papering cars. I'm cool with that. But I really get worried when we start talking about enforcement for revenue. That's a problem. I got a problem when we talk about cameras, parking cameras. You pull over, you're going to run into. Listen, we're Jersey City. Let's not act like we're in Shangri-La or something here, or some other weird city where life is beautiful and the blue birds are twerping all the time. You're going to park in front of a fire hydrant. I don't agree with double parking. I don't double park. I don't double. That really pisses me off when people double, especially take Central Avenue. You double park? Yeah, I remember going to court one time. I got a ticket for going around a guy on Central Avenue. I'm in the court and I'm fighting the ticket. And behind the judge was a North Precinct cop who worked in the North Precinct. Now she's at the courts. And I'm arguing. I said, didn't you work at the North? She goes, yeah. I said, how often do they double park on Central Avenue? She said, well, I really can't say. Judge, no, you can say, go ahead. Yeah, all the time. So what are you going to do? You got to go around. And that's what I did. I got a ticket. I don't like double parking, but you're going to park in front of a fire hydrant, you run into the Blimpie Bays at the post office, you're going to park at a yellow curb, you're going to park on a bus stop. It's okay for me. That's how I get those tickets. But I'll actually park bad at a corner when there is a parking spot available, because somebody might be going to have dinner with their daughter or something like that. Let them have that parking spot. I'm just running in the post office. And I'll be running in the post office, and that PEO will be running out there to give me a ticket. But I don't have a problem with you. If I'm parked illegally, you got me. You got me. But you'll never see me double parking and any of something like that. I may park illegally, but I'm not hindering traffic. But I don't need the war on cars right now. There are some things we can do. I know I spoke about it before. I don't want to see a tax that digs into everybody's pocket. And the Robin Hood attitude. Well, let's tax the developers and somebody call them land tycoons. Why do we look at these people as if they're the enemy or something? Just because they're successful doesn't mean we can go attack them. They went and got an education. They went and got a skill. They went to school. They got the sheepskin. They became an accountant, a doctor, or whatever, or a developer. Whatever it is, they've done all right. And for whatever reason, we should penalize them. We should pay more because they were successful. I think that's wrong. Yeah, I think that's big time wrong. We got to figure a way. It's more of like a service fee of what we're doing here. One of the things I talk about was a driveway permit. Now, if you have a house, I don't have a driveway. I would like a driveway. If you have a house with a driveway, you're entitled to a driveway. I don't think you're immediately entitled to that spot on the street. But there should be a fee for that park on the street, for that spot. If people are going to ride around the city on that Citizens Patrol waiting for a parking spot, that driveway spot's never going to become open because it's driveway. So you should pay a fee for that. And I think $600 a year isn't a lot for you to have a guaranteed spot. I pay more than that for non-guaranteed spots here in Jersey City. I think that's one of the things we need to do. I'm waiting for Solomon to sit down with me and we'll talk about some revenue producing or revenue saving. The garbage contract we have, the trash contract. Oh, we got to look at that. Right now, I can probably save the city about $2 million a year. Probably let the finance guys get a hold of it because I'm paying everything in the first year. Finance guy, the only thing I'm not paying for in the first year is the garbage trucks. I'm spreading that over 5. I'm figuring 26 brand new garbage trucks. Everything else, from the land to the building to everything, equipment, MSU unit, mobile service units, tires, fuel, I'm paying all that. Fuel you got to pay in the first year. And the tires, I think we have to do. But I'm putting everything in there in the first year, right down to the building and the land. Now, your finance guy's going to turn around. No, we can capitalize this over 5, 10, whatever years. So where I'm looking at saving the city right now, about $2 million. Plus, we have an asset. We'll have land, a building, trucks. The money we're spending, you can reach out and touch and see it. You can say, right now we're giving 15 plus $1 million a year for somebody to pick up our garbage. At least we will pick up the garbage, the city, and you will see your own trucks. And you can go down and look at the facility and say, before I was just writing a check for $15 million. At least now I'm looking at my $15 million. I can go and touch it. I can see the guys working. And we can work on the garbage trucks. We can work on the roll-off units. I even got it spec'd out in the building set up that'll work on the fire trucks. Now we'll have hydraulic mechanics, diesel mechanics, welders, all those guys, and we'll save money. But we got to do it right. We can't operate like the city always does and just F's everything up. It has to be run professionally. I would keep it as an autonomous agency. I would bring along our own people, but I would have at least a 1 or 2 year contract with a real crash guy who understands logistics, how to pick it up, everything, nothing's new to him. So we can learn from there. But yes, we've got to cut expenses. We got to hope to get that $1.50. You're still $100 million in the hole. So no matter how Fulop's looking at us, Solomon's looking, that's 12 years. So excuse me if I'm saying Fulop for 12 years. We're in a hole. And we're definitely looking at tax increase. And the scary thing is we're looking at tax increases we can't even stop right now. You know, you're looking at the Board of Education. Yeah, they're looking at you. And they're looking at you at 17%. And this is incredible. But that's I'm going to get to that part of the story. Now, if you probably read John's story now, John Highness on Hudson County View Live by now, Mayor Fulop. John reached out for him, got some comments. And Fulop is questioning the numbers. He actually used the word fugazi. Fulop said, it's kind of fugazi, these numbers. Everything seems a little fugazi. Now, if you remember Imus in the Morning, his crew used the fugazi a lot. Things are fugazi. You listen to Craig Carton on WFAN, Craig Carton uses the word fugazi a lot. So either, I'm going to figure Fulop is a Craig Carton fan. Maybe he was listening to Imus in the old days. But yeah, using the word fugazi. So I'm goofing around with Solomon today. So I text him and say, fugazi with a question mark. I said, Fulop must listen to Craig Carton. And he texted me back with a question mark. What are you talking about? I had to send him the story. I didn't see the story yet. Now he knows the story. For that matter, he just texted me a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, I got it now. Now, Fulop made a couple of interesting things, comments in the story where he's talking about that Mayor Solomon has retained many of his department heads. So Fulop finances was so fugazi, questionable. Why'd you keep all these department heads? Which makes a question. Normally the new guy comes in and cleans house, but the Fulop mayor protected a few of these people, or many of these people, with contracts. Little parting gifts. As Steve was leaving the city, he would give these people 3 or 5 year contracts. We have that situation in some of the autonomous agencies where contracts were given out, and I don't know what Solomon's going to do with them. You're tying the new mayor with personnel that he didn't want or doesn't particularly want for 5 years and can't do anything. He'll outlive his term, his first 4 years. I can see Solomon saying, yeah, I'm just going to eat these contracts. And we don't need to eat any more expenses. But I really can't tie the hands of the new mayor. These people should be serving at the pleasure of the mayor, not locked in with contracts. So, and actually name some of the people in the departments. So I'm sure Solomon was looking at that story saying, yeah, all right. I'm looking at a big bite as it is. I could probably bite off a little bit more in the world of debt and see what I can do with these contracts. But somewhere along the line, cuts have to be made. If these numbers are legitimate, and I don't think Solomon's yanking any change here, I just don't know how And he's looking at the finances and how Phillips' administration looked at the finance. Because keep in mind, the state had to approve every one of these budgets. Mayor Solomon, as a councilman, didn't vote for in favor of any of these budgets. But the council voted for it, and then the state had to approve it. So if there's some real, voodoo economics in there, there's a lot of fault everywhere. But I'm going to assume maybe some of this 250 was supposed to be kicked down the road. It was supposed to be spread out. I don't know. But here we are. Solomon's either going to say, we're going to end this right now, and we're going to go to the state for help. And again, it's not a 1 year fix here. It's probably 2 years going to the state. Hopefully, it works out. I would have gone for the 250 to avoid a huge tax increase as it is. But as Solomon points out to this group in Newark today, representing the state for Distress City Aid, he brought up a lot of good points. Where Jersey City, say what you want, we're the second city, Newark is larger. We're the leader in the state. We're everything. Everything from construction jobs to property values. And those property values, and when it comes to your property taxes, good. When it comes to you selling your property, very good. So it had a double-edged sword there. We are the leader. We are the golden door to New Jersey. And I'm sure the state's going to do the right thing. I'd like to see the 150. Like I said, I would have gone for 250. I would have gone for the whole thing and let them bring the price down on us a little bit. He didn't do that. He's going for the 150. Yeah, I assume he has some plans here. He hasn't outlined them all. I know he's gone around. He's done the I'm Broke tour to all six wards of Jersey City. For that matter, I told him he should just use the radio here. Yeah, set up a date. Put it on the town's website, city's website. With a button, boom, press the button here, and you're listening. He can take calls from everybody in the city instead of dragging people out where you're in a VFW hall or a community center with 30, 40 people. You can get as many as the city as possible. All you need is a computer, an Alexa robot there, or a smart speaker, whatever you need. Your phone, whatever the case is. And it's an 800 number. All right, listen, let's break for commercial. When I come back, we're going to talk about the show, the Christ Hospital Heights Hospital show on August the 7th. We're doing here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. This is the City Show on GGR. I'll be right back.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space Storage location, extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships. Or, if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started a GoFundMe where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids and the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clinton and Route 37 in Tom's River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories. Plus gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Tom's River Armory, 732-569-3730, and on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clinton Avenue in Tom's River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. City Show, GGR. Let me get to the hospital show next week before I get into the gloom and doom of more taxes. Next Wednesday, I'm going to host a hospital town hall concerning Heights Hospital / Christ Hospital on the 7th. That's next Tuesday at 6 p.m. on this very station, GGR. We'll be using our toll-free number. You can write it down now, 855-999-0799. That's 855-999-0799. There are a lot of questions concerning what happened here. There are, in my opinion, a lot of red flags that were missed. There is blame to go around everywhere with this hospital closing. It is now closed. The county commissioners, the Hudson County commissioners, are forming an investigation committee to investigate what happened here. I don't know how far we want to go back, because I was talking to some of the union people at the hospital today, some neighborhood associations, and they're talking about how CarePoint 10 years ago, they were pulling money out of the hospital system, millions and millions of dollars, and the system never really recovered from that. At one time, it was solvent. Now it's closed. I don't know how far we want to go back. See, I'm looking. I'll go as far back as you want. I'll do one of these shows every week or twice a week. Doesn't matter to me. I'm looking at the Hudson Regional time. Going back to the CarePoint when these people were pulling money out of the system, that's not getting this hospital open. And I have a very big concern. The longer it takes to get this hospital open, the less chance it is. It is an old hospital. I don't know if you can get that place recertified again if it goes past that, whatever that time frame is. So it's imperative that we get this hospital open. Now, we're doing this on the 7th. Toll free to call. Be part of it. Have your voice heard. Have your concerns heard. Maybe you can tell us a few things that we've missed on this, especially some of the surrounding neighborhood people. They're very intimate with Christ Hospital. I was talking to one person today about land that was willed to the hospital, land that was streets that were closed off and given to the hospital as a nonprofit. Could the nonprofit change those properties they received and hand them over to a for-profit, and that for-profit benefits from it? I'm not sure yet. Maybe we need a lawyer on that. Maybe I can find a land use lawyer. I know we changed the zoning there, and it was zoning changes years ago. But this is not surprising. There was a guy, Ted Conrad, going back about 30 years ago. If you don't know Ted Conrad, he was big in Jersey City, big in historical. Guy that really is responsible for saving the Brennan Courthouse. He made the comment. I think Colin Egan told me the story, that he was worried that somewhere down the line, because of the property and being on the cliffs and so much property there, that it would be ripe for development. I said, that'll be a problem someday. And here we are with that someday. And the problem is, if we can't get this hospital open, then the property owners win. HRH wins. And I said, listen, the building's too far gone. It's just so out of date, we just can't get it recertified as a hospital. You're going to have to let us knock it down. And there comes a whole other fight. I know the city of Jersey City is now looking into eminent domain. Ideal eminent domain situation. But that could take years. And the city's going to have to come up with money to buy that. And then we're going to have to get an appraisal on that. You're going to find out just how valuable those cliffs are. So again, save the date and the time. That's next Tuesday, April the 7th, 6 o'clock. I'm not even putting a time frame on the show. Yeah, I figure at least go an hour. If it goes longer than that, it's fine. I've contacted the mayor. I'll be contacting the governor, Jake Epros, Tom Zupa. I think I reached out to Joel Bradley. I'm doing a lot of it. Rolando Rivera, I've been talking with him. Manta, I sent the information. I'm trying to get all of the locals in there. And we keep looking, people keep saying this is a Heights problem. No, it's not a Heights problem. It is a city problem. It could be a citywide problem. It can actually become a county problem. I don't know where all these, because I was talking to one of the residents over there on, is it on Palisades? Or she was on Cambridge, I forget. She said she would see Weehawken ambulances coming in to a Christ Hospital, and Hoboken ambulances in Union City. I said, wouldn't they go to Palisades? There must be a reason. It's something we should look into as to why those ambulances are coming there. Kind of have an idea it might be uninsured people in those ambulances, and some hospitals didn't want to take them. But again, that's something we can all sort that out next Tuesday. And like I said, this could be one of many of the shows. You know, again, take down the number, 855-999-0799. Follow us on Twitter, Hudson Media Group, because I'm tweeting pretty much every day on this show, and I'm hashtagging it or at everyone I can. We need this to be a successful show. We need this. I'm going to send this down to the governor. She can hear it. She can get some more information, and decisions have to be made, and they can't be made too far down the road. And again, April the 15th, they're having a meeting hosted by the state, I guess, Department of Health in the hospital. So if you're in the area and you have the time, April the 15th, I think it's 6 o'clock also, go there. Have your voices, have your face seen, and show that there is concern. We don't want some situation where there's 25 people there, or 30. You need a lot of people. So remember, next Thursday, live on GGR, the Heights/Christ Hospital show, 6 p.m., 855-999-0799. And then the following week on the 15th, in the hospital with the Department of Health. All right, let's go back to the gloom and doom. You know, I was saying before with Solomon said there's going to be a tax increase. Even if we get $1.50 from the state, we're still looking at $1 million hole. So there's going to be a tax increase. Solomon's pulling whatever trickery he can. He saved supposedly $50 million on insurance. Pretty good. Maybe you can look. I need this new car insurance. Maybe you should look at mine so you can save 50% on that. Good job there by Mayor Solomon. As he tries to hold down the tax increase as best he can and expenses here in Jersey City, the Jersey City Board of Ed ain't having any of that. Their budget right now is projecting a 17% tax increase. Keep in mind, they have over $1 billion budget right now, and they want another 17%. How the F are these schools costing that much? I don't know how many times I've said this over the years, and this is going on the last 4 or 5 years. You know, when we talk about how the taxes went up in Jersey City, remember, most of those tax increases are from the Jersey City Board of Education, not from the municipality of Jersey City. You know, Fulop may have raised a 2% here, 3%, 1%. I think he only had one real big one. It was 8% or so when he first came in. But most of that was from the Jersey City Board of Education. And now they're looking for 17%. I don't know how many times I said that. Take the teachers' salaries off the table. Non-negotiable. I want to know every other effing nickel where it's going. How the hell, like my old elementary school on Broadway, PS 23 school, how the hell can that cost $58 million a year to run? It's impossible. But it does. How is it in Jersey City? I forget what the number is now. When I looked at this last time, it was like $36,000 a year per student. And in Tom's River, it's like $19,000. How is that possible? Coming in was twice as much. You're not paying rent. You're not paying property taxes. Those two big bills any business would tell you. If you don't have to pay them, you're in good shape. How is it so? Why can't we have school funding, one set price for each kid? Now, one of the problems we have so many freaking school districts. There are like 600 of them. We don't need 600 school districts. Get away with 21 of them, 21 counties, 21 school districts. But that has to be looked at. How the hell in Newark right now, their school budget, they got $1.67 billion a year. And they just got an additional $60 million on top of that. 82.7% of their school budget comes from the state. 82.7%. That's higher than the subsidies for New Jersey Transit. New Jersey Transit is subsidized 76% with tax dollars, money they steal from other parts of the state, and they funnel it into New Jersey Transit. That's why I got a problem with New Jersey Transit. And again, people take the bus and the light rail and mass transit and all this. And they always say, oh, we don't need our own bus lane. We get tied up in traffic. You're freaking subsidized 76%. Deal with the traffic. That bus has been running up and down the boulevard all my life. Unfortunately, we don't have a boulevard bus now because there's no private bus carriers because New Jersey Transit, who has no respect for money, doesn't care. They'll run the lines at a loss. They don't care. They need money, they'll get it out of you. Can't do that with private carrier. That's why all the private carriers are gone. We used to have a lot of private lines. We don't have any. Every main drag in Jersey City has its own bus. Not anymore. Ran them all out of business. Thank you, New Jersey Transit. You're the worst run transit agency in this country. You're subsidized 76%. And amazing with the people with they're always talking about, oh, we need this, we need that. You're subsidized. Your train ride, your bus ride, and your ferry ride should be full price. And maybe I'd have more sympathy for you. But you're getting subsidized. Your ticket, subsidized 76%. But here's New York schools, 82.7% from the state of New Jersey. Amazing. And they just got 60 more million. And talking about school increases, Emily Jabbar in Hoboken, she's trying to hold down the fort there too. She's looking at a 20% increase, municipal taxes. Yeah, it's tough being a new mayor. You come in and you open that drawer and like these demons jump out, full of what financial juggling he was doing, or Robbie Balla, what he was doing. Well, those balls hit the floor when the mayor's not there to catch them anymore. And Solomon and Emily here, they got to deal with it. She's looking at 20%. And just to make it sound like it's not a too bad 20%, the Hoboken Board of Education is looking at increase in taxes 27%. Yeah, it's like the affordable. We keep saying the affordable. Like I said earlier, it's like a drinking game. Affordable, we got to affordable this, affordable that, affordable. There is no effing affordable if we keep hiking up the taxes. How are you going to have affordable if you put another 17% increase on the school budget? Yes, Solomon's going to do what he can, I'm sure, to hold that increase. But there's an increase coming. 10%, 8%, 9%. It's coming. Probably better than that, but $100 million. And it depends on how much you get from the state. You might be looking at 15%. So stop the affordable. We got to figure out how to cut expenses here in Jersey City. We don't like the Pompidou. I appreciate what Solomon is doing with the 100,000 square feet in the building that's going up alongside the Lowe's Theater. We were going to have that for the Pompidou. The city now is going to use that for affordable housing. All good. But that's not really going to put a dent in the housing problems here in Jersey City. What we could have done, we could have rented that space. I don't know, $70 a square, $100,000, $70 a square a year, 10, 15-year lease maybe. And we could have purchased the path. We could have paid the bonds off on the path side building on Sip Avenue there. That we're probably going to sell because here you need the money. And we could have bought 54 Journal Square with the money that we would get from what would have been the Pompidou. But no, we're going to use that for affordable housing. Again, I appreciate trying to get reasonable price housing in Jersey City. Well, I think we could have done better and we could have got more revenue out of that. But that's not going to happen. But these are the things we're looking at here. And everybody talks about, it's too expensive, we need affordable. We'll stop the BS when you're going to come out with a 17% increase in Jersey City, a 27% in Hoboken. And I don't know what's going to happen with Solomon. Again, I know he's trying to do the best he can. The same thing with Emily. But it's coming. Stop the affordable. It's just empty words. It's like empty gestures. There'll be no affordable as long as we keep jacking up the prices here. So somewhere along the line, a very serious look has to be done at the expenses here in Jersey City and in Hoboken. Somebody's got to turn around and say, we got to get a handle on this. We need to get a handle on this now. Now, I appreciate, now Mayor Solomon is talking about updating the 911 dispatch, which I'm sure needs some updating. I understand they were working at XT software. Pretty old. Coffee. Lukewarm coffee. Updating the DPW. I talked about this last week. DPW is nuts and bolts. I don't know how much updating you need. I just need those guys to fill potholes, paint things, repair things, fix this, fix the parks, go out and do some painting, some welding here and there. The snowstorm, they're catching a lot of heat for the snow. Jersey City did no better, no worse than Union City or North Bergen. And Brian Stack is Mr. Snowman. He loves a good snowstorm. John Shaw in North Bergen is probably the best at dealing with snow. Even in that bad snowstorm, the hills of North Bergen were passable. Kudos, John Shaw and his people. They are those guys. John Shaw is a master at snow, but even this storm was a real challenge for John Shaw in North Bergen. Same thing with Brian. You've seen Brian out there on his Instagram, every night with the heavy equipment. We did no better or no worse there. I agree. Should we update? Should we, we're taking the police department out of the Stone Age. I was over at a very good police department. All this stuff costs money. These upgrades and getting out of the Stone Age, updating 911 dispatch. I think you got good personnel there. You probably you got to utilize the personnel, maybe fill a few more people in there. One of the other problems I got with Jersey City is I got cops as crossing guards. Get some crossing guards. But I will mention, as a child in grammar school, I was a crossing guard. I was a patrol boy. I crossed the kids every day for like 3 years. They all made it home. I had a perfect record. I got them all across the street. I don't know if we should be paying people for this. We used to have kids that used to have your 7th and 8th graders doing it. I think I saw that 6th, but I did it for, I think it was 3 years, maybe 2 years. It was the 7th, 8th graders were out there crossing the kids. And do I need crossing guards like 5 blocks away from the school? At some point, I got to trust the kids to cross the street. Somewhere along the line, they have to cross it by themselves. I know somebody say, but it's the children. You got to be the safety. We all did it. I was a patrol boy. At the end, I took my belt off, put it in my pocket. I had my little silver badge, put it in my pocket. I walked over the bridge and went home. I walked on railroad tracks and went home. It was like a tight roping, Walk all the way down those tracks, get to St. Paul's Avenue, and I was home. And we all made it every day. So I'm not sure I need cops there. I certainly don't need cops as crossing guards. So we want to get more cops on the street, get them a little more on the street. I know we're going to take the cops off the fixed stations. I guess I agree with that. I think cops on patrol. I think a cop work in the neighborhood 5 days a week is a good move. In my neighborhood, I knew the cops. We all knew the cops, and they knew us. There was a particular stolen car in the neighborhood. The cops knew who did it. Somebody robbed the freights. The cops knew who did it. And we knew they knew. They were a neighbor cop. He took you back to your house and threw you in the hallway of your house, and mom or dad took care of you from that. But those cops knew the neighborhood. They knew everything. They knew who was supposed to be there, who wasn't supposed to be there, what cars weren't supposed to be there. They towed our cars away. Even the ones we actually bought legitimately but weren't old enough to have. We'd have 2 different license plates on it. Cops knew it. They would tow our cars away. We spent like $20 for that car, $25. I agree. We should put cops on patrol. I don't know about the walk and beat. I'm cool with them riding around in the cars. But we need to get more bang for the buck. And right off the bat, we got to start cutting expenses. If you're going to keep using the word affordable, you got to try to get things to be affordable here. And it's astonishing. Now, New York is getting treated great. I'm starting to wonder, there's some kind of a deal that was made during the governor's race here? Dude, that's a lot of money. They're getting $1.67 billion now, and then they got another $60 million on top of that. Where's Jersey City? But it's difficult. In Jersey City, you're looking at 17 on the school board. Hoboken, 20%. Tough day. Just had the No Kings Day protest. I seen the footage, national, local. Burger King lost. He got fired. I don't know what other Kings we got left. Burger King's out of a job. Got Whopper Wednesdays now. That's not a bad deal. It's like, I think it's Is it $3.99 for a Whopper on Wednesday? Not a bad deal. And supposedly it's a new and improved Whopper. Makes me wonder what kind of Whoppers I was eating. If these are new and improved, now to say, we got fresh vegetables. Well, what vegetables did you have before? Did you find them in the street or something? A nice toasted bun. What bun did I have before? They got we already got Kings. Yeah, some of these things, I'll leave nameless. One of the conspiracy. They talk about this Donald Trump syndrome. Derangement syndrome? Is it derangement syndrome? Now listen, is Trump the best president in my lifetime? No, I'll probably go Clinton or Reagan. But let's see what happens here with Trump. It's got another 2.5 years, right, to go. Let's see what happens here. The gas prices just jumped up about 20% today. It's probably $1 increase in the last month. All because of what's going on in Iran with the military conflict there. I know some people aren't enthused about the military conflict in Iran. I remember the coal. I remember the hostages for 444 days. I remember all these terrorist attacks. I remember death to America. I remember 9/11. I'm not too opposed to reining in Iran there. Wouldn't mind going back to Persia there. But there was, I'll leave him nameless. I had to question this. That there was somebody who said the reason we have the military conflict in Iran was to take attention away from the Epstein files. Now, if we're talking about Trump there, I think they vetted as much of the Epstein files as you're going to get vetted. Yeah, the ones that are really getting hurt is, the Bill Gates of the world, the Clintons, some guys, Tish with the Giants. Any kind of arrangement or any kind of contact with this Epstein guy, you were canceled. I always wondered with the Epstein thing with the underage girls, how the hell did the parents allow these girls on these planes and islands? They're 15 years old, 16 years old. How the hell did that happen? Where were the parents in this? I still don't understand. All right, let's break for commercial. You'll listen to The City Show. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Your basement or attic packed? You no longer have a garage? Extra Space Storage has space. Self-storage units starting at 4 foot by 4 foot and up for the storage of furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, business inventory, sporting equipment. Some Extra Space locations even have vehicle storage. Extra Space Storage from North Bergen to Toms River and everywhere in between and beyond. Visit on the net for your nearest Extra Space storage location, extraspace.com. Hi, I'm Pat O'Melia with the Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You may have heard me talk about teaching high school juniors and seniors studio and radio production. The hope is when these kids graduate and wish to continue their education, they may receive college scholarships, or if not, they will have the experience from our program to get employment at the major motion movie studios here in New Jersey and New York. I started a GoFundMe where you can make a donation completely tax deductible to help these kids and the studio program. Please go to GoFundMe and type in Hudson County High School Sports and Entertainment Network. I thank you now for your generosity. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue, right at the intersection of Clinton and Route 37 in Tom's River. Your local source for all your firearm, ammo needs, and accessories, plus gunsmithing, repair, and cleaning on site. And coming soon, firearm training and classes. Tom's River Armory, 732-569-3730, and on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tom's River Armory, 602 Clinton Avenue at the intersection of Route 37 and Clinton Avenue in Tom's River. Visit on the net at tomsriverarmory.com. All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia, City Show here on GGR. We got about 2 minutes left. The feds are talking about awarding whistleblowers to Medicare and Medicaid fraud. If you know some fraud, you're probably seeing on some of your bills you got Medicare and Medicaid. Tests that were done, prescriptions, equipment that was sent that you never received, you get 30% of the fine. And I tell you, there is a lot of fraud when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid. And you can benefit from it. Google it, see what the deal is. They're talking 30%. You turn them in, they get busted, you get 30%. And some of those fines are rather large. You're seeing some of these pharmacies get hit like, $1 million fine. 30% of that million, not too bad. All right, we're at a show here. Remember, April 7th, 6 p.m. here on GGR, the Heights Hospital / Christ Hospital show. That is a very important show, so please save the date. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.